Welcome to today's Explainer. It's pretty rare to see a localized, regional company practically transform overnight into a nationwide powerhouse. But today, that's exactly what we're looking at. We're going to examine this fascinating blueprint of expansion by diving into Prestige Estates projects. We've got an incredible set of data from Motilal Oswal Financial Services tracking this aggressive transition, and honestly, the numbers are absolutely staggering. So if you're interested in how massive urban development is literally shaping the world we live in, you are definitely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive into our blueprint and agenda for today. 1. The giant awakens. 2. Expanding beyond Bengaluru. 3. The power of rent. And 4. Building the future pipeline.
Starting right off with Section 1, the real estate giant awakens. We're looking at a company that isn't just surviving right now, they are absolutely thriving.
Just look at this number, 122%. No, really, that is their staggering year-over-year pre-sales growth for the first 9 months of fiscal year 2026. They hit 223 billion rupees in pre-sales. I mean, in the real estate world, more than doubling your pre-sales year-over-year at this kind of scale, it's just a massive indicator of wild consumer demand and relentless project execution.
Okay, let's put those explosive percentages into perspective for a second. We're talking 17 million square feet sold. That's a 110% jump from the previous year. To ground that, it translates to 8,598 total units sold. It's really easy to just get completely lost in all of these financial billions. But remember, that is over 8,500 actual new homes bought and funded by real people. On top of that, their cash collections are up 49% to nearly 133 billion rupees, and overall revenue grew by 48%. They are literally moving inventory and collecting cash at record speeds.
All right, moving on to Section 2, expanding beyond Bengaluru. Let's see exactly where they're building this empire.
Is Prestige just a Bengaluru builder? For a long time, the market naturally associated them with their home base down south. You might have even asked yourself this question. But to become a true national player, you eventually have to break out of your backyard. And wow, the data shows they've done exactly that.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the narrative has completely flipped. Look at this. The National Capital Region, or NCR, contributed a massive 40% of their pre-sales in these 9 months. That has shockingly eclipsed their traditional home base of Bangalore, which is sitting at 27%. You throw in the Mumbai metropolitan region at 20% and Hyderabad at 9%, and you're looking at a remarkably diversified national footprint. They aren't just dipping their toes in new waters, they are diving straight into the deep end in India's absolute biggest metropolitan hubs.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of rent. This is a very vital strategic pivot.
Okay, in the financial world, they call this annuity income. Let's just break that jargon down into a really simple concept. Annuity income essentially just means steady, recurring rent checks. So instead of building a property and just selling it off in a one-time transaction, the company leases out offices and retail malls. They basically become the landlord. It's all about holding onto the asset for long-term, highly reliable cash flow. And that's absolutely crucial because it helps them weather any turbulence in the wider housing market.
And this brilliantly illustrates the pivot. Between 2014 and 2020, they aggressively scaled up this commercial footprint. They literally doubled the leasable area in their annuity portfolio. This wasn't some happy accident. It was a deliberate, foundational shift to build a massive base of recurring revenue.
But they are definitely not stopping there. Prestige aims to scale up these annuity rentals to a staggering 52 billion rupees over the next 4 to 5 years. And that's going to be driven heavily by an incredible 49 million square feet added to this portfolio. Now, these aren't just abstract numbers on a chart. These represent the exact new mega malls you're going to be shopping in and the state-of-the-art office spaces you or your peers will be commuting to in just, say, 3 or 4 years.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into their massive future acquisition blueprint, building the future pipeline.
All right, real estate reports love to throw around the term gross development value, or GDV. Let's quickly demystify this so we're all on the same page. If you see GDV, just think future sales value. It's really that simple. It's the estimated total revenue a completed project is going to generate once it finally hits the market. Understanding this really helps you fully grasp the sheer magnitude of their upcoming pipeline. So the crucial point is this huge number, 399.2 billion rupees. In just the first 9 months of the fiscal year alone, Prestige acquired 16 new projects spanning over 350 acres of land. And the future sales value, the GDV we just talked about, of those specific acquisitions is almost 400 billion rupees. The sheer volume of this land banking practically guarantees that their assembly line of mega projects isn't going to be slowing down anytime soon.
And if we walk through this timeline real quick, these future projects show some extreme diversification. By 2026, their new data center in Taloja, Navi Mumbai is expected to kick off operations, which, by the way, is part of a massive 125 billion rupee tech and infrastructure play they signed with Maharashtra. Then by 2027, their premium BKC Mumbai office spaces will be ready for fit-outs. And looking ahead to 2029, their highly anticipated Mahalakshmi high-rise residential development in Mumbai will be ready to go.
Which brings us to a compelling final thought. We've seen them conquer brand new cities, make a massive pivot to retail and office leasing, and bank hundreds of billions in future pipeline value. Going from building luxury homes for thousands of families to constructing massive tech data centers, what exactly is the limit to a modern real estate empire? It seems that for Prestige Estates right now, the blueprint just doesn't have any boundaries. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Definitely keep an eye on the skylines around you because they are changing a lot faster than you think.